Hey guys, welcome to The Sophisticated Scoundrel. Today we're going to talk about a guy who's kind of sick of the dating scene and is wondering what he can do. It's a short one, but I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think about this. But before we do, be sure you subscribe to the channel and you like the vid to help it along in those algorithms. And I also want to encourage you to download my free guide, The 5 Steps of Finding Your Life Mission and Purpose, because, well, quite frankly, a lot of you guys reach out to me because you're lost, you don't know what to do with your life, and you need some guidance. So I put together a 5-step guide. These are the things that I've used in my own life. And there's a video, it's all free, just download it. And by doing this, you'll get more clarity on how you should take your life, what direction you should go in, and feel much more confident in all the different areas of your life. Okay, so let's get into today's message. This is just a short one, so we're just gonna go through this here. But so here's what he says. He goes, I'd say my issue lately has been due to the dating scene. But I was in a relationship for 2 years, got cheated on, and afterwards have lost hope in finding another one. For me, I don't want to hurt myself again like that. I don't like these dating apps. I'm an old school guy. I think for me is the confidence I have, and I think I'm too nice of a guy. I don't know. I feel like women now only care for men who really don't care for them, are pretty much the less caring jerk of a guy who does less for her, etc. I did check out some of your videos, and helpful, I'd say. Some of it sounds like the advice my brother or dad gives me. Okay, great. So let's break this down, because I think a lot of you guys out there right now, especially, are going through this type of a situation where you're kind of burned out on the dating scene. And, you know, I don't blame you. I'm trying to figure out how old this guy is. He looks pretty young. He looks about in his 20s. So let's go through this, okay? Because I think there's some really important topics that all of you can take home and use in your dating life, whether you're in a relationship or getting into a relationship. So he said that he got cheated on. And most of the times when when women cheat on men, what I've noticed, especially in this day and age, is guys who are not representing their full masculine self. Guys who don't put their foot down, guys who don't have boundaries, guys who are too agreeable, and guys who are basically the quintessential nice guys. You know, they're pushovers and they just don't know how to have a handle on their woman. And for a guy like this who's probably in his 20s, I would say that's even more so the case for younger guys, because a lot of women out there right now in their 20s, they don't have accountability. They think that they can just do what they want, regardless of what they believe, you know, regardless of they're in a relationship or they don't respect the man that they're with, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, if a woman is cheating on you, chances are you just were too nice of a guy. And here's why I'm kind of saying that is because he says, I think I'm too nice of a guy. I mean, that's basically telling me mostly of what I need to hear is that, and I think he's right. I think, you know, the guys that I know who are cheated on by their women, they are exactly like he describes himself. And they might not cheat, but they're going to break up with the man because he doesn't put his foot down. Women can't respect, and if you can't respect, she's never going to love a man who does not stand up for himself. We're in this day and age right now where men are taught that if they stand up for themselves, they are sexist and they're misogynistic and they're controlling. Men are not allowed to have standards. So if you don't want your girl to go out to a bar with a bunch of other girls, you're controlling. If you don't want her to fly to Vegas for a girls' weekend, you're controlling. See, what you're missing is that when you enter into a relationship, there are certain dynamics that need to change between you and her. She can no longer party and go crazy like a single woman maybe would. You know, she now has a man that she needs to respect and honor his presence in her life. And if she's not willing to do that, that's fine. But that just means that she's not ready for a relationship. And that means that you need to say, hey, look, you know, I'm not down with these things. If you want to continue to do them, that's up to you. You're free to do that. But that just means that I'm not the guy for you and I'm gonna move along. Most men won't say that because they have been sold the lie that, oh, I just need to be the cool guy. I need to be the nice guy and go along with whatever she wants. If I have resistance, then I look like a stick in the mud. I look like a jerk, and I don't want to look like a jerk. I want her to like me. I want her friends to like me. You prioritize their judgment of you over your own personal beliefs and values. So when he says to me that I feel like women now only care for men who really don't care for them, well, there is some truth to that. It's come to the point where women have gotten very entitled. They pretty much run the show because there are no consequences for most women. I think nowadays, because more and more men are becoming educated on the subject, they're putting their foot down more. But still, most women out there who are younger, and not just younger, we're talking all ages, they can do any action they want without any consequence to their behaviors. And so when he says, I think that they only care for guys who don't treat them well, part of it is that. But let me explain what this means, okay? Because there are some guys out there who are jerks and who are, who are mean or jerks or domineering in a certain way. Not dominant and domineering are different things, but guys who are controlling. Maybe there are some guys like that, but let me tell you why they're doing better than you. It's because they are willing to put their foot down. They are masculine. They have a line drawn in the sand. And women, and it might not because they're respecting themselves, but they're just because they're fucked up in the head or whatever, but they're okay with, they have probably some of the dark triad characteristics, which are narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism, and they're okay, they don't have any qualms exhibiting those things. And women are drawn to these dark triad traits in men. That's why you see so many guys out there like that with beautiful women, because at the end of the day, no matter what these women say, when a woman says, oh, I want an equal partnership, this is called a shit test, okay, guys? Like, those of you who think that they really mean that, you're being misled. They don't want an equal partnership. They want a man who's better than them. They want a man who's dominant, who leads them, and they want to follow a man that they believe is worthy enough to follow. If you're not dominant, if you're not masculine, and if you don't put your foot down, well, they're certainly going to walk all over you. They will not respect you. And again, they're most likely going to cheat on you like they did with this guy. Like, I've been in a situation where I've been the other guy, okay? Like, I've had women, wives, whatever, approach me, do stuff. And back in my younger days, I did a lot of different things. And one of them, I remember, I did have a situation, like a fling, a relationship, with a woman who had a boyfriend. And when I look back at the situation, this boyfriend was he was just too much of a nice guy. Basically what you're doing. He just went along with whatever she said, had no real opinion on things, didn't really lead the relationship, was just, a yes man. And he wouldn't put his foot down with whatever she was doing. And so, she eventually just, when a woman doesn't have any resistance or sort of like that boundaries with the man, she's just going to go elsewhere because she wants to feel that masculine strength. And not to say that, because this was way back in college with this particular circumstance. And, I was, to her, probably much more fun, had my own thing going on. I was very determined. I was, obviously in college, so I was very focused in on my major. I was sort of a smart ass, had a lot to say. You could probably call me a jerk. I was nice too. I was fun to be around. But that edge was something that she was lacking in her relationship, which is why I think she dipped out on it. And she told me, like, he's boring, she would say. She didn't have much to say. He has no opinions on things. And therefore, she decided to mess around with another guy. So, this whole thing about I don't like the dating apps, I understand that, but I want to make sure that you're not using that as a cope. I always encourage guys to just go meet women out in person. That's fine. That's the better way to do it. But don't use not using dating apps as a cope to not go out and meet people in general, okay? I just want you to be conscientious of that, because it's easy for guys to, she's too superficial or that's dumb. And we will like put things down so we don't have to do them because we don't want to do that hard work. So I just want to make sure that you're not doing that and you're not using it as some sort of an excuse not to get out there and do stuff. Okay, so again, it's not about the women not. It's not about women don't like guys that don't care about them. They just prefer men who are got their own thing going on. They will put their foot down and they have boundaries, and and she has to sort of live up to those boundaries. I mean, and here's the thing is that a lot of women will say that, oh, he's a jerk, or they'll even say I'm a jerk, if I put my foot down. And this has happened before. I've put my foot down on things and they didn't like it. But I'm like, hey, look, this is how I operate. I'm not making you stay or do anything, but this is how it has to be if we're going out. And sure enough, they after a while, they like, okay, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And they understand that I have certain boundaries. And if you want to continue a relationship with me, then these are what I will accept and won't accept, And everyone has the freedom to choose those things. So when you say, I'm going to guess you didn't do that very often, and therefore she kind of just checked out, Let's see here. So you can still be a nice guy, but you need to have boundaries and you need to have stand up for yourself. If she's doing stuff that you just are not cool with, then you need to say that and put her in her place. Women do want to be put in her place. A lot of the women that I've dated who are very feminine, but who maybe have a little bit of a sass, they have always said, I really like it when you put me in my place. If I'm getting a little sassy or getting out of hand, when you tell me not to do something or, point out when I'm wrong about something, I really like that, And I've even had an ex-girlfriend of mine, when I got really pissed off and was angry about something, she said that, for whatever reason, I find that so sexy. And so, it's this part about a woman that, because it's all goes down to very much a survival mechanism and biology. A woman wants to know that you will protect her. And it starts with protecting yourself. If you are a pushover to her, then you're going to be a pushover to other men out there who are trying to, come in and attack or whatever, the scenario may be. Might not be that extreme, but she wants to know that you are willing to put your foot down. And I just think that just from the short messages I'm getting from you, when you say that you're too much of a nice guy and that you think that the women are into guys who don't treat them well, it just tells me that you're probably a nice guy and that you just don't have those boundaries with the women that you're dating. So don't give up, man. I don't want you to just check out the dating scene, but what you need to do is learn to stand up for yourself. And this is something that I obviously work with a lot of the men who come to me. They have the same problem that you do. And we work with this in my coaching program. So, if it's something that you want to do and are serious about changing, I highly encourage you to check out my coaching sessions and get this sorted away. But yeah, man, don't give up on that. Don't just point the fingers that it's all women's fault, when I believe that you need to sharpen your game and be able to stand up for yourself and let women know, hey, this is not okay with me. You can't just let things slide like that when you date women in the future. So, all right, guys, it's a short little video. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, please leave them below. If you'd like one-on-one coaching with me, the links are also below. And that's it. We will see you in the next one.